Hi, this is Carl Brower from MotorPro Media, and I'm standing next to the 2021 Hyundai Elantra N Line. Now, if you're wondering what is a Hyundai Elantra N Line, well, it's one step above the performance of the basic Hyundai Elantra line that's been around for years. You can actually go another step up to the Hyundai Elantra N. It's an amazing car. I mean, if this one isn't enough for you, you want to try out the full-on performance version of the Elantra N right here, which I can't really talk about right now, so never mind. Shh, you didn't see this. Whew, that was weird. I felt like a disturbance in the force. Anyways, let's get back to talking about the Hyundai Elantra N Line here that's right in front of us. This one, again, is one step above your basic Hyundai Elantra model line, and it's got a lot of great features on it that immediately identify it as a Hyundai Elantra N Line. One of the common ones you're going to see across multiple Hyundai models is the black mirrors, these gloss black mirrors. That's a trademark thing. But in this case, you're also seeing things like, well, these 18-inch wheels. These are also special on the Hyundai Elantra N Line. And in this case, you'll notice you've got Goodyear Eagle F1 tires that come on the manual shift version of the Hyundai Elantra N Line. There's also an automatic DCT version of this car, and it will have all-season tires. So you have to get the manual version if you want the Goodyear Eagle F1 summer tires. Other special things you'll see between the tires are the gloss black rocker panels. You also have some gloss black treatments up here in the front of the car, not just the grille, but lower fascia treatments and headlight treatments that are different from your standard Hyundai Elantra. These are all the exterior cues they wanted to use to help set the car apart besides just the badge that you see in the grille. You've also got a spoiler in the back of the car. Again, gloss black is kind of the color. So if you see a Hyundai Elantra and it's got a lot of gloss black trim on it, you're looking at an N Line. Now, I love the color on this one. It looks good. The black looks good against this kind of non-metallic gray that they've got here. It's a beautiful color. It's very popular today. We see it on a lot of cars. Obviously, there's a lot of distinctive visual elements that make up the N Line, but what about the drivetrain, the suspension? Thankfully, those have been upgraded too. It's not just a graphics package. Let's talk about the engine, why don't we, all right? I'm gonna open it up. We'll take a look under the hood. Now, in this case, you've got a 1.6 liter turbocharged, direct injected 4-cylinder engine making 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. What's interesting about the torque figure is that Hyundai says it maintains that 195 peak from 1500 to 4500 RPM for a very broad, flat power band, which is what you want. You don't want to have to spin the engine to make it go. Even on these small 4-cylinder turbos, used to be very peaky once upon a time, decades ago. Now they're almost as even and as torque-rich as a normally aspirated engine used to be. This particular one, as mentioned, is attached to a 6-speed manual transmission, and there is a dual clutch transmission option available as well. We've got some special sport performance-oriented features in this car, including contrasting stitching here on the steering wheel, as well as the shift boot, as well as the door panel right over here. And you've actually got some pretty serious seat bolsters here with some red contrast stitching as well. The wheel itself is a nice diameter. This is a fat wheel, and it's always nice when car companies produce a fatter wheel for performance cars. I've always hated when you get in a car and everything feels performance-y except the steering wheel. All right, when you start this car up, you notice some interesting things beyond the cool steering wheel and contrast stitching. You've got the checkered flag over in the tachometer on the left, and certainly these kind of performance-oriented gauges with that red trim in them. You've also got a touch screen over here as your central display element, and you can do all your controls here. What's interesting about this car is there is no drive mode button. I have looked and looked, and it doesn't appear there's any drive mode button, which is rare. They must feel that the Hyundai Elantra N Line is only one mode, and it's a mode meant for performance. We, of course, can't talk about driving impressions because those are embargoed until next week, so we're just talking about the basic design elements of the car for this video. So that's a pretty good look at what you're going to get with this new Hyundai Elantra N Line. Remember, it's got a lot of standard features too. The display screen inside, the sunroof, the rear cross traffic alert, and also blind spot alert. There's a good amount of stuff that's going to come standard on this car beyond the performance upgrades we've talked about. And it's supposed to be available late 2020, basically at the end of this year, or if not, very early next year. So it's coming soon, and it really reflects this fuller N Line approach that you're going to see on up to 7 models by 2022, I believe. There's going to be 7 models that are going to be N Line models from Hyundai. So they're really going after this. Think AMG from Korea. Should be an interesting car, and we're looking forward to driving it and being able to talk about it. This is Carl Brower at MotorPro Media. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.